Everybody. It looks like we've got most everybody who is going to be here today. Welcome to this CSA webinar. We are fortunate today to have Dean Lindsay as our presenter. He is the author of The Progress Challenge and Cracking the Network Code. He's an authority on harnessing human potential and creating authentic business growth. So we're looking very forward to this presentation on diving for referral pearls. So, Dean, welcome.
Dennis, thank you very much. So I did get an introduction there. Very good. Dennis, thank you very much from the technical standpoint. Got this all rocking and rolling. I also want to thank Stacy and the entire CSA crew. Diving for referral pearls. The focus of this presentation obviously is on how to cultivate quality referrals. And in discussing that, really there's a lot of different topics, sales, motivation, motivating others, trust, a lot of things that roll into encouraging folks to reach into their contacts and connect us with quality referrals. So being that this is a program where I cannot get reactions from you guys, I am going to let the PowerPoint kind of lead my comments, and then I definitely have a lot of specific things and stories and stuff. So I'm going to start clicking, and we'll go from there. Quality referrals. Quality referrals are the most cost-effective method for building business. One of the most important things, I think, when people start considering referrals, everybody knows they like referrals, but one thing that I think is important when we talk about actually cultivating quality referrals is to really think about, even though there might be some effort involved, even though it might be might have to get out of our comfort zone to position ourselves where we're really ready for referrals, and you'll see that when I go through what I consider to be the 3 keys for cultivating quality referrals. But it really is the most cost-effective method for building business. A new contact introduced by referral has fewer objections, operates immediately at a higher level of trust, and has a stronger sense of loyalty. And those are important things to remind ourselves of as we are choosing to do some of the specific tips that I'm going to be encouraging us to do. These aren't necessarily, they're easy to comprehend, but not necessarily easy to implement in the moment of serving a client. But it's very important to realize that once we get that person, that referral, they're gonna come to us with a better foundation of belief in us and our services, and that's exactly the type of people we want to be working with. But receiving quality referrals does not take luck. It takes a referral mindset, and so that really could be another way of me even titling this program is developing a referral mindset, because that's really what we're talking about. I guess I like to rhyme, so diving for referral pearls is my way of saying it, but it really is a referral mindset. So here are the 3 keys, and we're going to dig into each one individually. 3 keys for cultivating quality referrals. Number 1 is be buzzworthy. Let me give you some specifics on that. Being buzzworthy means that we are providing so much value, so much heat, so much gain that people want to talk about us. Not only do they want to talk about us, they have to talk about it. Let me give you an example. About 5 years ago, my wife and I, we were moving into a new house. And this particular move, we decided we weren't going to use any. We were not going to do it all ourselves. We were going to hire a moving company. So we hired a moving company, and it was 4 men, and one of those 4 was the foreman. And those gentlemen started working in the living room, and they were moving the big furniture around. And my wife and I went to the back bedroom, and we were loading books in smaller boxes. Well, they'd been there probably about 30 minutes, and we hear this crash. And my wife and I look at each other, and we knew pretty much immediately what had happened. They had broken one of our 2 matching lamps that we had on either side of our couch that we thought we thought these lamps were pretty unique and pretty snazzy. Well, my wife and I, we kind of slowly get up and going, oh man, what's going to happen now? And we start to walk towards toward the doorway, and before we can even get out of the bedroom, the foreman comes right in. Mr. and Mrs. Lindsay, I wanted to apologize. You probably heard there, we broke one of your lamps, and he said, I wanted to let you know that it is our policy that if we break something, we refund you the money, and so I wanted to ask you, how much you think that lamp was worth. And so we agreed upon a price, and then my wife and I kind of looked at each other and rolled our eyes like, yeah, we'll see when we ever get that money. And so we went back to work and loaded up more boxes, and we loaded up the SUV, and we took off, and we stopped and had some lunch, and then we showed up at the new house to unpack, and as we were driving in the driveway, the foreman came right out and handed me a check for agreed upon price. Now that's something that I would want to talk about, but that's not what made me have to talk about. That's not what made it buzzworthy. The next day, the foreman called me, and he said, first he asked me how the move went, and I said, it went good. And he said, he said he had done some research, and he had found that lamp here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex for around the agreed-upon price. Now remember, this was a lamp that we thought was pretty unique and snazzy, and he had found it online for less than the agreed-upon price. Now that's buzzworthy. That's worthy of buzz. You don't think I've encouraged my friends to use that moving company? I have encouraged my friends to move just to use those guys. That's being buzzworthy. That's providing so much value, so much heat, so much gain that people want to talk about it, that they have to talk about it. They trust that others will benefit and get the same progress that we provide them. See, it's all in the way that the trust is built up. In fact, a quality referral is borrowed trust. See, if you have somebody who refers you over to a third person, that third person doesn't trust you. They trust the person that referred you to them. So when we were referred to somebody, that's borrowed trust, and so we got to realize that the very worst thing that could happen is, I'll get referred over to somebody, and I talk to that person, and then that person calls up the person that referred me and says, "Hey, why'd you stick that person on me? What'd you do? Lose a bet?" See, we need to realize that it's the trust that's fragile. So a lot of times people talk about asking for referrals, and we're going to get to that point in this program where we talk about how to ask for referrals. But the real key is not asking for referrals. The real key is to be buzzworthy. The real key is to provide so much progress that people really believe in what you offer and believe that that other people will connect with that as well. So, trust is the promise of progress. Now, this is where we're getting into a few of the other major programs and even books that I've written. I'm honored, Dennis. Thank you very much for mentioning that. I'm the author of 2 books along with the Diving for Referral Pearls program. One of the books is called Cracking the Networking Code: 4 Steps to Priceless Business Relationships, and the second book is called The Progress Challenge: Working and Winning in a World of Change. And this concept of trust being the promise of progress is one of the major components of that new book, The Progress Challenge. See, it's very natural for people to resist what they view as change, but they embrace what they view as progress. And when I say embrace, I mean move towards. I mean want to get other people connecting to things they view as progress, not change. So it's important to realize that really the whole concept of trust is that people believe that you can be progress for them and the people that they connect you to, that you won't be change. There's a big difference between change and progress. I don't mean semantics. I mean the way it hits our gut. If I have an upset stomach and say, "Oh, I need change. Oh, I need change," and then somebody comes over and hits me in the nose, well, that's change, but it's not progress. And sometimes it's also important to realize that when people say they're resistant to change, that's not really true. We wake up every day to change. We just want things to get better. If you ever have somebody who says they're resistant to change, ask them if they want a comfier chair or a raise or a bigger monitor. They're going to say yes. Well, that's change too, but it's different change. It's change. It's change that they agree to It's change that they believe is better for them. And that's the same thing here. People are going to give us referrals. People are going to want to be in our sphere and have other people connected to what we have to offer when they view us as progress. So being buzzworthy is to be progress. Our products and services, our organizations, our ideas, our decisions, our solutions, our working environments, our leadership style, our customer experiences, all must be positioned as progress in the minds of those we wish to propel into positive action. Now, I'm going to go back there. Products and services, organizations, ideas, decisions, solutions, working environments, leadership style, customer experiences. All those things make us buzzworthy. All those things make us referable. It's not just one, and any of those can also be a detriment to it. So it's how we hold ourselves. It's the way our systems run. It's the individual experiences that our customers have, and that flows directly to our leadership style. Our customers are only going to have experiences that flows from the way we treat our internal customers. And I don't have the time in this program to dig into internal and external customers, but if you're not serving the customers, your job is to serve somebody who is. That's a quote from the former president of SAS Airlines. But it's all these things, and all these things have to be positioned as progress in the minds of those that we wish to propel into positive action. Now, positive action. What are the positive actions we want others to take? Well, in other programs, I could be nice and varied and say there's tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of different actions, positive actions, that we want people to take. Well, here's the thing. Everybody is going to act. Everybody is going to do something. You can't do nothing. Doing nothing requires heavy medication. And even that is doing something. That's heavy medication. See, people, ever heard somebody say that they got to be motivated? Well, everybody is motivated. Every one of your clients are motivated. Every one of your employees, team members, everybody's motivated. It's just, what are they motivated to do? And they're doing something. And they're doing something for a reason. But see, positive actions are the actions that we want others to take. Well, people aren't going to take those positive actions just because they know we want them to take it, those actions, unless they think it's also good for them. But specifically, what are the positive actions we want others to take? Refer us, refer us, refer us. Well, just because those are the actions we want them to take doesn't mean they're going to take them. They're only going to take those actions if they view those actions as positive for them. So let's dig a little further into that. Everything we do, consciously or subconsciously, we do because we believe the perceived consequences of those actions are that we're going to feel a mixture of the 6 P's of progress. Now, I wish this stuff was simple and that I could just give you 2 or 3 bullet points and send you out into the world, but I'm much more committed to light bulbs rather than bullet points. Will we get to some bullet points? You bet. But it's not about bullet points. Life is not led in bullet points. It's led in light bulbs. It's about understanding the feelings that go into people making the decisions that they make. That goes for what they choose to eat, who they choose to refer, who they choose to spend time with. Just because somebody knows it'd be cool for you to get connected to somebody doesn't mean they're going to connect you. But as soon as they see that it's good for them to do it, including them getting pleasure out of making you happy. I'm not saying people don't do things for you or for me, but they do it if it didn't make them happy or if it didn't bring them pleasure or help them gain peace of mind or profit or some mixture of these 6. We don't do it. That's how we roll. And when I say roll, I mean R-O-L-L, not R-O-L-E. Now, as I said before, I'm not going to have just a huge amount of time to dig into these 6 P's, but let me say it one more time. Everything we do, consciously or subconsciously, we do because we believe the perceived consequences of those actions are that we're going to feel the right mixture, what we believe is the right mixture of peace of mind, pleasure, profit, prestige, pain avoidance, and power. I'm going to have to keep moving on down the road, but this major concept, which is definitely ties into cultivating quality referrals, is all in the brand new book that just came out this spring, my book, The Progress Challenge, Working and Winning in a World of Change. And I'm jazzed to have the founder and publisher of Selling Power magazine saying that cool endorsement, finally a meaningful book on a workable process for progress. But even looking at the tagline for the book, Working and Winning in a World of Change. Well, working and winning definitely, cultivating quality referrals is definitely one of the key elements to working and winning in a world of change. So and somebody else is not going to refer you unless they think it would be defined as working and winning for them. But just think about our own lives. When do we refer stuff? And it's not because somebody asks us to. It's because we believe in the products and service. I'm sure everybody who's on this call has referred a movie to someone else, but I don't remember Meryl Streep ever coming on at the end of the movie saying, hey, if you liked our little film, would you please tell somebody? See, it's not about that. It's about us believing that it would be good for somebody else. It's about that movie being buzzworthy. It's about our product, our service, our aura, our style, being buzzworthy, being worthy of a buzz. I sometimes say worthy of wattage, worthy of the spotlight. So the first key, be buzzworthy. I so oftentimes quote Mary Kay Ash because she was just a dynamo at motivating people. And her one of her big quotes: "Everyone has an indivisible sign hanging from their neck saying, 'Make me feel important.' Never forget this message when working with people." Now, if you can make that person feel important, what are they going to do? They're going to want to be, helpful. They're going to want to connect with you. They're going to want to have others feel great about themselves too, just like you help them feel. So, Mary Kay's quote here is not just in reference to internal relationships. It's most definitely dealing with customers. In fact, there's a huge overlap between sales, leadership, referral generating, and personal motivation. That's another one of those words I mentioned it just briefly. But the word motivation, I used to get really when I first started back in 2000 as a consultant and a speaker and now an author. I used to always get called a motivational speaker. And at first I used to really resent it because whenever I thought of a motivational speaker, I thought of somebody who was a little bit plastic, a little swarmy, and then they'd tell you their rags to riches story. And then everybody would, share some mantra and, do some deep breathing or something. But in fact, I was even more resistant to the phrase motivational speaker when I saw this comic strip in a Fast Company magazine, and there were these two fish swimming right next to each other, and the one fish in the front had a hook hanging out of its mouth, and that fish said to the other fish, "Oh, it was a scary couple of minutes, but now I'm making a fortune as a motivational speaker." Well, I had to dig into that word motivation because really everybody who's on this call today trying to cultivate quality referrals is on this call to try to find out how to be more motivational. We're trying to learn how to motivate others to do what? Refer us. So you can take that word motivation, you can break it up into two parts. Motive for action. If people have enough motives, they'll do something. If they don't, they won't. Now, what are the actions we want people to take? Call us, refer us, introduce us. Well, they're not going to take those actions unless they have reasons. Shakespeare says strong reasons make strong actions. So that's one of the major things we can do to help become more buzzworthy and to be progress, to be able to show somebody that we can offer them pleasure, peace of mind, profit, prestige, pain, avoidance, and power, is to do what Mary Kay Ash says here in this quote, and that is make them feel important. Because people refer progress. They don't refer change. So how are you progress? You. Your products, your services, your organization, your customer service, your leadership style, your work environments, you. How are you positioning yourself in the other person's mind as progress? To cultivate quality referrals, strive to be progress. Now, when I say be progress, and I've heard it before where people say make progress. I'm not saying make progress. I'm saying be progress. If we want other people to have us front and center in their minds, we have to be in a positive way. We have to be positioned in their mind as progress. When they think about us, our products, our services, our customer service, our leadership style, blah 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 blah, they have to view us as progress. As they think pleasure, they think peace of mind, they think profit, they think prestige. Because if not, it doesn't matter if we ask for referrals. If you ask for referrals from somebody who thinks you're a bozo or that you're doing lame work, they're not going to give you great referrals. They're not going to give you referrals at all. And if you don't ask for referrals from somebody who really believes in you, that you're still going to be in a lot better position than if you asked for referrals from somebody who didn't think you rock. So to be positioned in such a way that the other people really connect and believe that you can and will find ways to be progress, not just for them, but to the people that they connect you to. Because what they are, whether they know it consciously or subconsciously, in their minds, they're hoping that by them referring you to this third person, that they also are doing good for this third person. Not only will you be of benefit to that third person, but they're getting to be of benefit to that third person too by connecting you to them. So, all right, second point. Well, actually, two more things in reference to being progress / being buzzworthy. There's two keys for being progress and being buzzworthy. Today's zest and yesterday's success. Here's what that means, besides being kind of pithy and word snappy. Today's zest. One of the things that's most attractive, and I talk a lot about being a business attraction magnet in the Progress Challenge, but one of the things that is most attractive is the zest that you have for your role in the business community, for the context that you have. So you being able to really continually connect with what good you're doing out there in the community. Now, what are some of the hindrances to having zest? Not eating right, not getting exercise, not thinking good thoughts, not getting enough rest. There's a lot of things that can actually really diminish the zest that we have, which then makes whatever we're talking about become really obsolete, because if we're bummed out, if we're Eeyore out there, we're not going to get, it's not going to be attractive. And that's, when I say attractive, I don't mean ooh la la, people want to smooch you. I mean, ooh la la, they want to alter their life to include you. And that's what people giving us referrals is. It means they're going to have to do something different than they were going to do. When you're on this call talking about cultivating quality referrals and diving for referral pearls and trying to help other people find it in their best interest to refer us, that means they're going to have to do something different than they're planning on doing. So having that zest for your life and your work. Another major key, point number 2, yesterday's success. What I like to share here is, past ways that you've helped clients, that you've helped people with, gain peace of mind. Everybody on this call, you guys know that in truth, it's not our products and services that people want. It's the peace of mind. Anybody who's in the insurance arena knows that you don't sell insurance, you're selling peace of mind. People buy peace of mind. They don't buy insurance. They're wanting the feelings behind that. They're wanting the peace of mind and the pain avoidance. The feeling of pain avoidance, the feeling of the peace of mind that they're getting by knowing that they're taken care of and that their loved ones are taken care of, and that things are going to be good if there's some challenging times ahead. Now, I knew that going into this program and only having 45 minutes with you guys, that I wasn't going to get time to do yesterday's success justice. So I did want to give you guys 2 bonus articles, and I'm sure there's a way that you guys are getting access to those 2 articles, but it's on how to really share yesterday's success by using stories and testimonial letters. So the 2 articles, white papers or special reports, whatever you want to call them, whatever sounds coolest to you. One is on how to get great letters of recommendation / testimonial letters, and the second article is on 10 ways to use those testimonial letters. But when you're using those testimonial letters, do connect that you're using them to position yourself as progress, to position yourself as trustworthy, to position yourself as buzzworthy. So today's success, yesterday's success, 2 of the solid keys for being progress and being buzzworthy, being something people want to talk about. Second key, offer quality referrals. So the first key, again, be buzzworthy. The second key in our 3-key system for cultivating quality referrals, offer quality referrals. Some points here. It's another way of saying people help those who help them, but people want to be progress for people that are progress for them. Right? If we can help people gain more business, gain more market share, meet the right people, those people are going to want to connect with us. So to help people, there should be a comma there. To help people, comma, you have to know what they need. So listen. Calvin Coolidge said, "No man ever listened himself out of a job." As I said with that first bullet point, I mentioned that we help people meet the right people. Well, we don't know who the right people are. We're not going to know who the right people are until we talk to them, till we listen to them, till we ask questions and connect with them. There's no better way to send the message that you work from referrals than consistently be on the giving side of them. So I'm going to also give you some specific tips on how to give those referrals. But we also need to realize that we can offer referrals to people that aren't our customers, and we can get referrals from people who aren't our customers. So we need to serve clients, prospects, neighbors, everybody as soon as we can with whatever we've got, even if it has nothing to do with what we directly offer. I mean, even if it doesn't mean that it meets our sales quota. If we want to build a priceless business relationship, and that's what I'm really encouraging us to do, because we get referrals from our priceless business relationships, then we get to be the first. We have the option of being the first one to start giving, and the number one way that we can do that is by building and strengthening those priceless business relationships. Now again, I'm getting to the point in the program where I'd love to delve more aggressively into what I consider to be the 4 keys from going from met to net and building priceless business relationships. But I did want to at least tell you what those 4 are. And it comes from the first book that I have out there in the world. It's called Cracking the Networking Code: 4 Steps to Priceless Business Relationships. And the 4 steps to going from met to net. Now, just a little bit more on Cracking the Networking Code. Cracking the Networking Code is recommended reading by the United Professional Sales Association and Profit Magazine. It's being translated into Korean, which is taking me a really long time. But the 4 steps are, the first is C, create personal curb appeal. And now that is really you believing in what you have to offer. To put it in a nutshell, creating personal curb appeal is the belief and the commitment that you can and you will find ways to be progress for the people that you connect with. Connect with this, the more that people see you as progress, the more they're going to want to refer you. And I want to take that word refer and just say connect you, hook you in, invite you to events. There's a lot of things that go into gaining new business relationships than just the straight classic referral method. Trust is transferred from in a smile and a handshake and an introduction as well. Open face-to-face relationships. That's getting out and about. D is deliver solid first impressions, and E goes right back to the concept of trust, with earning trust. Even though with this program, the Diving for Referral Pearls program, I did want to let you know that there is going to be some tools besides the 2 bonus articles that I'm already hooking you guys up with. If you did wish to, I do have a CSA specials. If you are interested, and you can email me directly at dean@deanlindsay.com or call 214-457-5656. But the 2 specials that I wanted to put together for you guys on this call today, you get the Diving for Referral Pearls CD. It's a lot of the stuff that we're talking about today, and some more specific tips, plus the Cracking the Networking Code book that retails for around $33 and some change. You can get those 2 items for $25. That includes tax and free shipping. If you just shoot me an email, it says deanlindsay.com, it says special, and then put your phone number. I'll call you back and get you that. I would say I do it over the web, but this is a special thing I'm just doing just right now for CSA. Or you can get the Diving CD, the Code book, the Progress Challenge book, and Code Cracking Live CD. That's 4 items for $40, and that's around a $65 value. And the new, as I said, the new book, the Progress Challenge, just came out here in the last month or so. So I know I had to skip over the code really fast. Obviously, I go in and do half-day programs based on that, and boot camps and stuff. But I did not want to leave it off when I talked to you guys about being progress and being able to offer quality referrals. We can't offer quality referrals unless we know the people, and we're not going to know the people unless they want to know us, and that comes down to building those priceless business relationships. All right, so here's some keys to offering quality referrals. First, have accurate information to give. Number 2, pass on hot referrals ASAP. As soon as we know that that you got a good referral, that we need to get those other people in the loop on it. The longer we wait, the more it cools down. Also, the more of these things we do, we're also setting it up. We're letting people know exactly how we like to get these referrals. Number 3, volunteer to warm up your contact. Volunteer to warm up your contact by sharing good things before the call. Number 4, try not to give the same referral to more than one or two people. And if you do, make sure that all parties know. So now there's one other thing that you can do that I think is even more of a slam dunk, and that is and be the connector actually, and saying, hey, I think you need to know this person, and let's all three go to lunch and knock it out that way. But these here are most definitely some of the ways that I know I personally would like to receive a referral, and so that's also what I'd encourage you to do. I'd encourage you to make a little list of what is the ultimate referral method. What is the way you'd really like to receive a referral, and then that's the way you go out and offer referrals. There's no better way. So, a great question for you to ask someone that you want to be a referral alliance, a strategic alliance. Another way of saying that would be a referral alliance is, how would I recognize a good business referral for you? That really lets the other person knows that you work off referrals, but it also lets the other person know that you are, in it for the long haul, for the authentic business relationship growth. So I'd encourage you to put that in your vernacular and use that as naturally and as often as possible. How would I recognize a good business referral for you? See, that's the way you're going to know who the right people are. You ask them. Come right out and say, I want to help you build your business. How can I be of service? What can I do? Specifically, and with the contacts that I have, which is another thing that goes back to networking and building great relationships. It's going to be tough for us to refer when we don't know enough people. So that's what's great about having a great network and having a large trusting network, is the more people that trust and believe in us. When we refer stuff this way and that, we're really setting people up. People are calling up and saying, wow, Dean referred you over to me. Wow, you must really be rocking, because Dean's rocking. I'm just saying that in general. Some people might not think I'm rocking, but the many people who think I'm rocking, when they get a call and my name was mentioned, that it helps that person out. So it's the same thing here. The more priceless business relationships, that's collateral. That's some useful, powerful tools in cultivating quality referrals. So, how would I recognize a good business referral for you? Point number 3 in the 3 keys for cultivating quality referrals. The third is to ask for referrals. Now, asking for referrals. These 3 keys to cultivating quality referrals are in order of importance. The number 1 key to cultivating quality referrals is not asking for referrals. The number 1 key to cultivating quality referrals is to be buzzworthy, to be worthy of referrals, to be, I shouldn't say be worthy of referrals. It's more than being worthy of referrals. It's being rocking. It's people, because people are going to talk about something. They're going to talk about whatever's the coolest thing coming down the pike. Now, the second key, more important than asking for referrals, is offering quality referrals. In fact, when we finally get around to asking for referrals from somebody we've offered quality referrals, sometimes they feel almost embarrassed that they hadn't come up with referrals, and more than likely they probably already have. We never have to ask. So these 3 are definitely in order. However, there are some two key things that I want to talk about when it comes to asking for referrals. The 2 keys are when and how. I'm not saying you shouldn't, because I definitely believe you should. My business is most definitely built on referrals, and I'm not shy about asking for referrals. But I don't ask for referrals from anybody who I don't believe has me positioned as progress in their minds. Somebody who already doesn't have me considered buzzworthy. So the win is the easy part. Win is when they say wow. And when I say wow, I mean anytime you have a client, and if you don't have clients doing this, then you're probably not going to get any referrals anyway. But anytime the customer, the client, the guest says, wow, great job, well done, you really helped out, couldn't have done it without you, really appreciate your work, all those things. Anytime you hear anybody, any of your clients saying that, that's when you need to think, ask for referrals now. Ask for referrals now. Now, you don't want to say that out loud. That's what you think to yourself. That's the time. Now, if you can't do it at that time, then when you do wish to have, quote-unquote referral conversation, you need to get them back in state. It's kind of an NLP term, neuro-linguistic programming, but you need to get them back connected to the progress. When they're calling up and saying, wow, great job, they're saying your progress. They're saying, I trust you. They're saying, I'm feeling peace of mind and prestige and pain avoidance and the 6 P's I already referred to. That's why they're saying wow. So when they are saying wow, that's when they are in the state of mind to be very open and interested and willing to discuss other people that they'd like to have feel the same way they feel right then. So the easy part is wow. Now, how? The number one way how to ask for referrals is really to make referrals an active part of the communication long before you get to that moment of quote-unquote asking for referrals. Build the term and the concept of referrals into the relationship from an earlier start. Here's some specifics. When asked a question, and hopefully this is, you can you definitely don't want this to be an incorrect statement, but I know it's not for me. When I'm asked a question, it's very natural that I'd been asked that question before by somebody who was referred to me. So before I answer the question, you say, great question. I was asked that same question by a client who was referred to me a couple of weeks ago. So, obviously you're gonna doll that up with a couple of weeks or a couple of days or a prospect or whatever. But the more that you can actually, early on, build the concept of, referrals, the better and more natural it's going to be when you do get around to having that conversation. Another one, in a discussion about your top-notch service, and hopefully you're getting great people talk about how great you are. It's one of the major reasons you're able to give great service is because you're not having to focus so much on referrals. Focus so much on getting new business because of referrals. So I'm very fortunate to get many referrals. It frees me up to focus on serving clients because it takes away the demands of finding new clients. So it's just you come right out and it's another way of saying saying thank you, but then it's kind of explaining, yeah, I'm being able to rock the house for you because people like you are helping me get new clients, and I'm not having to focus my attention there. If I was having to focus my attention on getting new clients, I wouldn't be able to invest the time because we're all getting the same amount of time each day. So rather than saying all that, I am fortunate to get many referrals. It frees me to focus on serving clients because it takes away the demand of finding new clients, just straight up. Now, again, I know I'm rocketing through this stuff. I'm hoping that you appreciate that. I'm not wanting to leave too much out. But if there is some of this stuff you want to go back to the Diving for Referrals programs on a CD, and people seem to dig listening to that in their cars and really kind of soaking up some of these key concepts and phrases and stuff. Another one, when asked how things are going, instead of just saying, hey, everything's great, you can say, hey, I'm having a great time. We are working with some great people to help them blank, but we're never too busy to be referred to new opportunities to serve from people who think that we could help. I think I took the pauses at the wrong time there, but I'm going to say the second part of that sentence again. We are never too busy to be referred to new opportunities to serve from someone that thinks we can help. Well, heck, you can read it there. But anyway, the major concept there is to say, yeah, we are rocking. Things are going well. but we're never too busy to help those who to help somebody who thinks we can help them. So it's another way of helping get that concept of referrals out there. Now, when it comes time to specifically asking for referrals, avoid asking the general question, do you know of anybody who might need my service? Here's the problem with that. On average, people know around 250 people. So when we ask the general question like that, do you know anyone who might need my service, all of a sudden 250 people just comes flooding into their noggin. So we need to help them focus. Here's some context to that. Back up a little bit and say, hey, I have an important question I've been meaning to ask you. I'm continuing to grow my business and would value your help. Now, here's the two big things. One is brainstorm. Brainstorm is a great word. It's positive, creative, proactive, and non-threatening. So I'd encourage once they say, hey, be happy to help, you say, can we brainstorm a minute? And then help them get specific. Help limit their mental search of these 250 people by helping them picture a smaller group of people in their referral sea. Ask specifically about the people they know well and the organizations they belong to. Now, how are you going to know the organizations they belong to? That's by getting to know them. That's by building that priceless business relationship. We're not going to get to be able to help somebody limit their search until we know stuff about them, their hobbies, their interests, their family, all this stuff we need to know to build that priceless business relationship. But helping them helping them get specific is much easier on them than having them review the needs of every person that they know. Rock and roll. So the 3 keys to cultivating quality referrals: be buzzworthy, offer quality referrals, and ask for referrals. Again, my name is Dean Lindsay. I'm taking this opportunity to introduce you to the www.deanlindsay.com website and twitter.com to remind you of the deals. If you just either call me, 214-457-5656, or shoot me an email at dean@deanlindsay.com and put special in your phone number, I'd be happy to discuss with you which one of these 2 packages might be of most benefit to you. I am including tax and is free shipping. If you go to deanlindsay.com, the other thing that I do have to offer you guys, other than the deals on the books and the 2 bonus articles that you've hopefully already downloaded, is that if you go to my website, you can subscribe for free to our monthly progress report. It's right there on the right-hand side. It's our newsletter, and then you'll get our monthly newsletter, and we can stay in touch that way. But that is it for this cool little phone call. Dennis, thanks again for the cool technology. We went through the code. Took you through the code, took you through the 3 steps for cultivating quality referrals, introduced you to the 6 P's of progress. But if I can sum up this entire program on cultivating quality referrals in 2 words, and I can, they are be progress. So thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you, CSA, and be progress.